Hello, welcome in.
Hi,
How you doing this
Dr.
week?
Garcia. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Um, what would you like to talk about today?
So, I'm dealing with a conflict with my niece.
Mm-hmm.
I could use the help with my mortgage
Mm-hmm.
whenever she's in town, and she's actually here pretty often.
Mm-hmm.
But whenever she's here and whenever I lend space to her to stay here, it's her husband, and her daughter.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm worse off after they've left than when they got here. And so I'm trying to battle between maintaining the family dynamic, our relationship,
Mm-hmm.
especially the relationship between my sister. This is my sister's daughter,
Mm-hmm.
and trying to figure out if this is worth me helping, even though in some regard, I could probably use some assistance from her because if she
Mm-hmm.
stays here for long periods, she can help with some bills at the house. So, but
Definitely.
sometimes when she's here, it's my son and her daughter just trash the house together.
Mm-hmm.
And she's a little bit older than my son. So whatever she does, he does. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, and if something's always broken, it always feels like it's more time consuming on the back end to fix everything. And like, I don't really have a lot of time to be dealing with that. And then I also feel disrespected. Like, hey, you know my house rules. I've told you several times. We've even had family meetings in the past, and I feel like she's just disregarding everything.
Yeah. Um, I can see why that would be stressful for you. What exactly do you feel about that though? Are you stressed, anxious, upset?
Definitely upset. It's stressful a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I feel more disrespected than anything. Like I'm almost to a point where I feel like she has no self-awareness.
Mm-hmm. Um, have you guys ever sat down and had a conversation about um kind of where your head's at versus where her head's at?
Yes, we've had family meetings in the past, and she said she got it.
Hmm.
And things did turn around, and I saw some progress, but now it's as if she's reverting back to her natural ways and how she probably lives in her house.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I struggle with that.
Yeah, I could see that would be I've definitely been in that kind of situation too, where I was living with someone for a short period of time, and we kind of had different values, I guess, on the way that the house should be ran, you know. So
Right.
I can definitely relate to you there. But
Yeah.
um I think it's important to note that you at least know how you feel right now. Um I think that maybe sitting down and possibly, having another discussion about that and maybe laying down your reasonings. Have you talked to her specifically about your reasonings why? Like why you like the house clean and
Not necessarily why. It's just, a personal preference,
hmm.
but more so a personal preference than anything.
Yeah.
But it also would take up too much time for me to constantly clean every single day. It's like it's a 4 or 5 bedroom house. So it's a night they tear the entire house up. They go to my bedroom, they jump in the bed.
Hmm.
They go to my son's room. They take all the toys out of his room. They
Hmm.
take all the toys out of his play area. And it's like they trashed the house. And he's got crayons that I would have never introduced him to in the house. And it's
Hmm.
crayons all on the walls,
Hmm.
coloring all over the walls. And so it's
Hmm.
like I'm almost like, is it even worth it? And because they're cousins, they love each other. She's the closest in age to
Hmm.
him on my side of the family. So he loves having her here. He has a ball when she's here. And I don't want to take that away from him,
Hmm.
but us as parents are not seeing eye to eye.
Yeah. Well, maybe there's a healthy balance that you guys can come to where you guys maybe compromise a little bit, things like possibly have you thought about having the kids have like one certain area where they play instead of going all through the house all throughout the day? Being like, okay, you guys are going to stay in the living room when you have crayons. You guys are going to stay in the living room when you play with toys or when you jump or, something like
The-
that.
Yes, the issue is that her daughter is just very disobedient
Mm,
and they don't discipline her. And so when I try to discipline her, she gets an attitude with me, and then I'm
mm,
ready to discipline her in another way.
mm-hmm,
So, we have two totally different parenting skills. Like they'll get on the couch, like in our dining living area. That's kind of like the nice area. People don't really, whatever, jumping on the arms of the couch, brand new furniture. And my son cannot jump on the couch because if he's only 2. So if he falls, he's falling on a hardwood floor.
uh, yeah.
And so one time, probably a few months ago, my aunt noticed it where he was climbing up the wall through the couch. And they were down there with him, and no one said anything. And
Oh,
if he
wow.
were to fall back, he could have been severely injured.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
So those type of things I'm concerned about. His safety, obviously. I'm always concerned about his safety when she's around. And I shouldn't have to think that way about a family member. I should feel protected when a family member, you know, has him in their custody.
yeah, yeah. Well, do you have any ideas on maybe a way that you'd want to address the situation, but with having it be a positive impact?
I think I'm going to call her because this last time I was in New York when they were here, and there's a room that we have for my mom. It's a guest room, but my mom says it's her room, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so that room was clean. We have cleaners come once a month. That room was cleaned. Like you can see the carpet lines. Yeah, you don't want to even walk when you can see the carpet lines. So I was like, okay, my mom won't be here for 3 weeks, but no one goes in that room. We're going to leave it as is. So when they got here, I told my boyfriend, hey, make sure they don't stay in that room. Make sure they stay in my son's bedroom. And because my mom's room looked perfect, looked like no one, it looked like a hotel. And so I get back and I'm like, well, what happened? And he's like, they slept in both rooms. And I'm like, are you kidding me? The covers were off the bed. The mattress protector was in the laundry room, which tells me that their daughter, she probably peed on herself in her sleep.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't think to clean it. They left me with the mess to clean.
Mm-hmm.
Um, all the pillowcases were off. Of course, the carpet lines are gone. Right. So that's just an OCD tendency I have. But I wanted it to be nice for my mom and didn't want to have to think about this work week I have right now, which is probably my craziest work week of the year,
Mm-hmm.
this week. I didn't want to have to find time to go in, wash everything, clean everything, vacuum everything when it was already set for her. All they had to do was sleep in one room.
Yeah,
And it's like, it's not good enough. You have to
yeah,
sleep in 2 rooms.
yeah.
you know. And
Mm-hmm.
then my son's clothes were all over the floor.
Mm-hmm.
I did have clothes, a lot of clothes out, but the clothes were on his bed. So they were now thrown on the floor. And I'm like, I know you didn't find this like this because I would have never had his clothes just lying on they were new clothes I had just bought them. So I would have never just had them on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
So she called me while I was still in New York, and then she called me again this week and I didn't answer, but she's calling because she needs a favor. So she ended up calling my boyfriend for the favor. And I'm gonna call her and just let her know, like, hey, because when she came and when she asked if she could stay here, she was like, well, I didn't know how you felt about me. And I was like, she tries to guilt trip herself into me saying no, or
Mm-hmm.
like just making herself the victim.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how I care about you. Huh? What do you mean? Like, I need you to keep my house clean when you come. That's why I have an attitude when you leave it trashed.
Mm-hmm.
So this next time it's like I'm going to have a conversation with her, but I really don't know how many more conversations I have in me
Yeah.
to keep telling her the same thing, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. We know it can be difficult whenever you're trying to set a boundary with someone and they may or may not respect it, you know.
Right.
Um, it seems like you're very upset about the fact that your house isn't being taken care of the way that you would like it to be taken care of. And on
Right.
top of that, I can see that it is within your benefit to have her come over because of financial reasons as well. Um, how so she stays there relatively often, and you said that she's coming soon, right?
Yeah, she's probably coming back. She's always coming back
Mm-hmm.
randomly,
Mm-hmm.
like without any notice. Hey, I'll be like, we found out that day that she
Mm-hmm.
was going to stay here or needed to spend the night.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, hey, we'll be in Atlanta at 5 o'clock. And I'm like, okay.
Mm-hmm. Have you talked about that as well?
Yes, I've talked. Yeah, I have. It's almost like it's not getting through to her.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if it's because she's a family member, if she just takes advantage. Like, does she operate like this in the workplace? I
Mm-hmm.
have no idea. I think she does. I really do think she does.
Mm-hmm. Seems like you guys have um kind of different views about responsibilities and different views about values.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
and maybe that's why that feels so heavy for you.
Hmm. Yeah.
Mm. Do you think so? You believe communicating with her may not be beneficial still, but what if you give her not necessarily an ultimatum, but maybe consequences of some sort? Saying, okay, if you're gonna come here, um, this, and this needs to happen, and within reason. And if it doesn't, then I may have to draw a boundary around myself and pull away and not help in those ways if um if the things that I'm asking for out of that relationship aren't being met.
Yeah. And I was
I,
also thinking of getting my sister involved,
mhm,
possibly. But that sounds good. I got to figure out what boundaries would those be that I haven't already tried to draw with her.
mhm.
But yeah, I can
So,
definitely do that.
mhm. What about so you said you were thinking about getting your sister involved. How would you what would that look like?
Maybe have her as a mediator
Mm,
and give a perspective to both sides.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah. Yeah. Because she seems to not be getting it?
Hmm.
And that's what bothers me.
So do you feel like her hearing it from somebody else aside from you would help as well?
Possibly.
Hmm.
Possibly. Yeah.
And what do you think you would do if she continued to have these same issues?
I don't know, because she's my niece, she's my sister's daughter. So it's like I
Hmm.
don't want to ever say you can't stay here if you need a place to stay. So that's what
Hmm.
I struggle with.
Yeah, yeah.
And I haven't figured out what I will do. I mean, the obvious thing to do would be to say you're no longer welcome to spend the night. You're more than welcome to come over and play, let the kids play a little bit
Hmm.
for a small amount of time. But spending the night, bringing all your stuff in here and just making a mess is not acceptable for me anymore.
Yeah, yeah. And you got to remember, it's okay to draw boundaries sometimes, you know,
Right.
and
Right.
that can look like a lot of different things, but when you draw boundaries, you're letting people know, okay, this is what I need from you. It's clear communication. So they don't, so they're not able to continue to have those kinds of things happen. You know, they're not able to continue to do those kinds of things with no repercussions or, you know, no consequences.
Hmm. Right. Right. Yeah, it sucks, especially with the holidays coming up. We were thinking about hosting for Thanksgiving.
Mm,
So, got to figure out what that looks like.
definitely. Do you typically host for holidays?
Some holidays, yes. Not every single year, but pretty
Hmm.
often since we've moved into the house.
Hmm. That's nice. And who else there lives with you?
My boyfriend, my son, just the three of us.
It's nice.
Yeah, so, made way more space here than California. So,
Hmm.
looking to expand the family.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
So you're looking to get more kids?
Yes.
How many do you want?
As many as I can afford and pay attention to, honestly. I would say maybe one or two more,
Hmm.
but I'm 40, so I don't know how much time I have.
You're not 40.
Yeah, I'm 40.
That's
So,
crazy. You look so
yeah.
young.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Um,
But
so
40 is still young anyway, so.
I battle with that, if
Hmm.
I have frozen some of my eggs, but I battle with like how long I'll keep trying and having kids, especially going back to school,
Yeah.
starting a new career,
Hmm.
how that looks, starting a new career and being a new mom, which I know has been done before,
Yeah.
but how much stress do I want to put on my plate? And then
Hmm.
weighing out how much do I want another baby? I definitely
Hmm.
want him to have siblings.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I can understand that. Me and my brother, when we were growing up, we were definitely looking out for each other as kids, you know?
Right.
And it's nice to be able to have that person that is close to you and that's like kind of, you know, sometimes around the same age or like close to the age of you. And
Right.
you know, they protect each other and do nice things for each other like that. So
Right.
I think it's a great idea, you know.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, but just trying to weigh my options.
Hmm. Have you thought about possibly making like a pros and cons list or like what would happen if I did this action specifically? You know, how would that look?
Right. I should. I'll definitely do that. I have not written it down in terms of what I would like to see, like the good, what I would get
Hmm.
out of it. Not the bad, but yeah, I'll do a pros and cons list. That'll be
Hmm.
good. It's exciting going into this new chapter. So
Yeah, that is exciting. And you said you were changing careers. What do you mean by that?
going into mental health versus I work in a music business currently,
Hmm.
night and day. So, you know, just adapting, it'll be a huge learning curve for me in terms of
Hmm.
my time commitment, maybe, and just, how my family dynamic is.
Hmm.
Will I be working from home more so, or will I be
Hmm.
working in person, or will it be a hybrid? Looking forward to all of it.
That sounds really exciting. I'm glad that you have good plans for the future and you know you have a positive outlook and I think that's really helpful for you.
Thank you.
Hmm.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
So are you very close with your child?
Very, yeah, pretty close.
And, what does that look like?
Um, We have different things that we do together that doesn't involve his father. We have many things that we do together that involves his father.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm the one that puts him to bed every night. So then we say our prayers together.
Yeah.
It's to the point to where when I say in Jesus' name, he's like, Amen. So
That's very sweet.
he's getting the hang of it. Um, So that's something that we do together.
Hmm.
Um, I tell him I love him all the time, and now he's learning how to say, I love you too, mommy. And I think that's cute. Um, and then we have a thing where we do movie night where if I'm like trying to get him, if it's the weekend and I don't mind him staying up later, I'll say, you want to do movie night? And now he says, he's like, Ma, let's do movie night tonight. And so that's cool because we get to just cuddle and watch TV and just chill and relax. And there's no work to think. I'm not thinking about work
Hmm.
or school or responsibilities that I have. I'm just kind of just a great place to be mentally.
Definitely. He sounds
Mhm.
like he's a very good asset for you. You know, I can tell. You see the joy in the way that you talk about him.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, he
Hmm.
brings me a lot of joy. So that's why having a second, I'm like, I want to for sure. And then he'll have someone, like you said, to look after him, and he'll be looking after them, being the big brother. So I'm looking forward to that because my sister and I have a huge gap. We were 12 years apart, so I didn't really get to experience
Hmm.
what it was like to have siblings close in relationship.
Hmm.
I do have a sister that's probably a few years older than me on my father's side, but we're not close. So I would love to see that dynamic with him having a sibling and then their relationship. That'll be cool.
Yeah. Um, so how old is he now? You said four?
Two.
Two, excuse me. Um, two. Wow. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And what's your husband like?
He's great. I mean, he takes care of him more than I do because I work so much and I have
Hmm.
school now. So
Hmm.
he stepped in a lot, taking the backside. Like he's not working as much as he used to because it's almost like he's taking on the role as a caregiver to
Hmm.
sacrifice so that I can go back to school and so that I can work.
Hmm.
And, like this week I have to be at the studio until midnight. And yeah, he's stepped in and puts him to bed and feeds him and cooks for him. He cooks for us all the time. He cooks every day. So
That's awesome.
great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he sounds like a good partner, a reasonable partner, because
Yeah.
it's nice to see somebody who like supports their spouse, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Supports their
Yeah.
spouse's decisions, like especially with like, different working situation and, taking on the role as a caregiver, like you can tell there's like deep love there.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
And
It is.
so you said you're in the music business. Would you like to elaborate?
I am an A&R, so I look after talent. And so right now I have a songwriting camp going on and for one of our artists. And I put writers and producers together, and then they
Mhm.
all make music
Mhm.
depending on what the direction is. So his direction is soul. I'm looking for some tempo to add, and it's probably have 4 rooms going at a time.
Mhm.
Yeah, so it's been good. It's been really productive.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So are you essentially a producer or?
No, more so like overseeing the writers and producers and the artists
Mhm.
and giving them direction based off what the artist vision and what my vision is for the artist
Mm.
project.
Mm.
Yeah. So it's called Artist and Repertoire A&R.
That's awesome. That sounds really interesting. How'd you get
And
into that?
um, I started over 20 years ago. So it's been a long time. I started working. I always wanted to work on the A&R side, but I started off working in like marketing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that helped you move up quickly?
I wouldn't say quickly. I would just say I did a lot of different things in the business that gave me a lot of experience.
Mhm.
So a lot of my internships, I worked in PR, I worked in marketing, I worked in management.
Mhm.
So those definitely helped shape my perspective of the business and the information that I was able to receive. And that helped catapult me later in life because I had so much more information than just one lens of the music business. I had several different lenses.
Mhm. Oh. That's
Yeah.
really interesting, you know. I hear a lot about people going into the music business, but not being as successful. So it's, it's nice to see somebody who's like been able to apply themselves and like, come in from a marketing perspective, but then like move up later and, kind of move into a different direction, you know?
Yeah. No, thank you. I'm proud of it. Just ready to switch it up a bit. Yeah.
Definitely. Well, I
Yeah.
think that's around the end of our time. Are there any things you'd like to say before we stop?
No, no, this has been helpful. I'm going to do my pros and cons list
All right,
with
that
my
sounds
niece
wonderful.
and with the baby,
Hmm.
the new child to come. So that was helpful.
Awesome. All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Mhm.